Topic: Learning about eyes. Sunlight, white or colored? What is inside our eyes? We see things only when light coming from them enters our eyes. Eye is one of our most important sense organs. It is therefore important to understand its structure and working. The eye has a roughly spherical shape. Outer coat of the eye is white. It is tough so that it can protect the interior of the eye from accidents. Its transparent front part is called cornea. Behind the cornea, we find a dark muscular structure called iris. In the iris, there is a small opening called the pupil. The size of the pupil is controlled by the iris. The iris is the part of that eye which gives it its distinctive color. When we say that a person has green eyes, we refer actually to the color of the iris. The iris controls the amount of light entering into the eye. Now let us see how. Activity: Dispersion of light. Get a plain mirror of a suitable size. Place it in a bowl, that is, katori. Fill the bowl with water. Put this arrangement near a window such that direct sunlight falls on the mirror. Adjust the position of the bowl such that the reflected light from the mirror falls on a wall. If the wall is not white, fix a sheet of white paper on it. Reflected light will be seen to have many colors. The mirror and water form a prism. This breaks up the light into its colors. Splitting of light into its colors is known as dispersion of light. Rainbow is a natural phenomenon showing dispersion. The lens focuses light on the back of the eye, on a layer called retina. Retina contains several nerve cells. Sensations felt by the nerve cells are then transmitted to the brain through the optic nerve. There are two kinds of cells: cones, which are sensitive to bright light, and rods, which are sensitive to dim light. Besides, cones sense color. At the junction of the optic nerve and the retina, there are no sensory cells. So no vision is possible at that spot. This is called the blind spot. Its existence can be demonstrated as follows. Activity: Demonstration of blind spot. Make a round mark and a cross on a sheet of paper with the spot to the right of the cross. The distance between two marks may be 6 to 8 cm. Hold the sheet of paper at arm's length from the eye. Close your left eye. Look continuously at the cross. Move the sheet slowly towards you, keeping your eye on the cross. What do you find? Does the round mark disappear at some point? Now close your right eye. Look at the round mark now and repeat the activity. Does the cross disappear? The disappearance of the cross or the round mark shows that there is a point on the retina which cannot send messages to the brain when light falls on it. The impression of an image does not vanish immediately from the retina. It persists there for about 1/16th of a second. So, if still images of a moving object are flashed on the eye at a rate faster than 16 per second, then the eye perceives this object as moving. Activity: Get a square piece of cardboard of side 6 to 8 cm. Make 2 holes. Thread a string through the 2 holes. Draw or paste cage on one side of the cardboard and a bird on the other side. Twist the string and make the card twirl rapidly. Do you see the bird in the cage? The movies that we see are actually a number of separate pictures in proper sequence. They are made to move across the eye, usually at the rate of 24 pictures per second. That is faster than 16 per second. So, we see a moving picture. Nature has provided eyes with eyelids to protect from any object entering the eye. Eyelids also shut out light when not required. Eye is such a wonderful instrument that it can see distant objects as well as near objects very clearly. The minimum distance at which the eye can see objects distinctly varies with age. The most comfortable distance at which one can read with a normal eye is about 25 centimeters. Some persons can see near objects clearly but cannot see distant objects so clearly. On the other hand, some persons cannot see near objects clearly but they can see distant objects quite well. With suitable corrective lenses, these defects of the eye can be corrected. Sometimes, particularly in old age, eyesight becomes foggy. It is due to the eye lens becoming cloudy. When it happens, persons are said to have cataract. There is a loss of vision, sometimes extremely severe. It is possible to treat this defect. The opaque lens is removed and a new artificial lens is inserted. Modern technology has made this procedure simple and safer. Care of eyes. If there is any problem, you should go to an eye specialist and have a regular checkup. If advised, use suitable spectacles. Too little or too much light is bad for eyes. Insufficient light causes eye strain and headache. Powerful rays of sunlight and bright light can injure the retina. Wash your eyes frequently with clean water. Never rub your eyes. If particles of dust go into your eyes, wash it with clean water. Always read at the normal distance for vision. Do not read by bringing your book too close to your eyes or keeping it too far. If we do not have balanced diet, if food is deficient in some components, eye may also suffer. Lack of vitamin A in foodstuff is responsible for many eye troubles. Most common amongst them is night blindness. One should therefore include in the diet components which have vitamin A, raw carrots, broccoli, and green vegetables such as spinach, eggs, milk, curd, cheese, butter, and fruits such as papaya and mango are also rich in vitamin A. And cod liver oil are rich in vitamin A. Visually challenged persons can read and write. Some persons, including children, can be visually handicapped. They have very limited vision to see the things. Some persons cannot see at all since birth. Some persons may lose their eyesight because of a disease. Such persons try to identify things by touching and listening to voices more carefully. They develop their other senses more sharply. However, additional resources can enable them to develop their capabilities further. Did you know? Animals have eyes shaped in different ways. Eyes of a crab are quite small, but they enable the crab to look all around. So the crab can sense even if the enemy approaches from behind. Butterfly has large eyes that seem to be made up of thousands of little eyes. It can see not only in the front and the sides, but the back as well. A night bird, that is, owl, can see very well in the night, but not during the day. The owl has a large cornea and a large pupil to allow more light in its eye. Also, it has its retina a large number of rods and only a few cones. The daylight birds, kite, eagle, can see well during the day, but not in the night. The day birds, on the other hand, have more cones and fewer rods. Resources can be of two types: non-optical aids and optical aids. Non-optical aids. It includes visual aids. Visual aids magnify words, can provide suitable intensity of light and material at proper distance. Tactile aids. Using the sense of touch. Tactile aids, including braille writer's slate and stylus, help the visually challenged persons in taking notes, reading, and writing. Auditory aids, using the sense of hearing. Auditory aids include cassettes, tape recorders, talking books, and other such devices. Electronic aids. Electronic aids such as talking calculators are also available for performing many computational tasks. Closed-circuit television, also an electronic aid, enlarges printed material with suitable contrast and illumination. Nowadays, use of audio CDs and voice boxes with computers are also very helpful for listening to and writing the desired text. Optical aids. Optical aids include bifocal lenses, contact lenses, tinted lenses, magnifiers. The lens combinations are used to rectify visual limitations. Telescopic aids. Telescopic aids are available to view chalkboard and class demonstrations. What is a Braille system? The most popular resource for visually challenged persons is known as Braille. The present system was adopted in 1932. Many Indian languages can be read using the Braille system. Louis Braille, himself a visually challenged person, developed a system for visually challenged persons and published it in 1821. Braille system has 63 dot patterns or characters. Each character represents a letter, a combination of letters, a common word, or a grammatical sign. Dots are arranged in cells of 2 vertical rows of 3 dots each. Patterns of dots to represent some English alphabets and some common words are shown below. These patterns, when embossed on Braille sheets, help visually challenged to recognize words by touching. To make them easier to touch, the dots are raised slightly. Visually challenged people learn the Braille system by beginning with letters, then special characters and later combination. Methods depend upon recognition by touching. Each character has to be memorized. Braille text can be produced by hand or by machine. Typewriter-like devices and printing machines have now been developed. Some visually challenged Indians have great achievements to their credit. Divakar, a child prodigy, has given amazing performances as a singer. Mr. Ravindra Jain, born completely visually challenged, obtained his Sangeet Prabhakar degree from Allahabad. He has shown his excellence as a lyrist, singer and music composer. Mr. Lal Advani, himself visually challenged, established an association for special education and rehabilitation for disabled in India. Besides, he represented India on Braille problems to UNESCO. Helen A. Keller, an American author and lecturer, is perhaps the most well-known and inspiring visually challenged person. She lost her sight when she was only 18 months old. But because of her resolve and courage, she could complete her graduation from a university. She wrote a number of books, including The Story of My Life, 1903. Summary: sunlight, called white light, consists of 7 colors. Splitting of light into its constituent colors is known as dispersion. Important parts of the eye are cornea, iris, pupil, lens, retina, and optic nerve. A normal eye can see nearby and distant objects clearly. Visually challenged persons can read and write using Braille system. Visually challenged persons develop their other senses more sharply to improve their interaction with their environment. So, that is all in this topic.